A bowl of bouillabaisse is not just a soup, it is the taste of the Mediterranean Sea distilled into a single, golden broth. To understand this dish, you have to look past the white tablecloths of modern French bistros and imagine the rocky, sun-drenched shores of Marseille, where the history of this meal began not as a luxury, but as a necessity. Centuries ago, the fishermen of Marseille would head out into the Mediterranean in small wooden boats. At the end of the day, they were left with the catch that couldn't be sold at the market, the bony, spiny, rock-dwelling fish that were too difficult to fillet or too ugly to present to wealthy buyers. Rather than let this bounty go to waste, the fishermen would toss these scraps into a large iron pot right on the deck. They added seawater, a splash of olive oil, and whatever wild herbs they could forage along the coast. They would boil it all down. The word bouillabaisse itself is a combination of the Provençal words for boil and lower the heat, until the fish broke down into a rich, flavorful emulsion. The secret to a true bouillabaisse lies in the fish itself, specifically the rascasse, or scorpion fish. This creature is not exactly a beauty, but it is the soul of the dish. Because it lives in the jagged crevices of the Mediterranean floor, its flesh is firm and intensely flavorful. When boiled, it releases a gelatinous quality that gives the broth its signature body. Without the rascasse, you are simply making fish soup. With it, you are participating in a centuries-old culinary ritual. The preparation is a masterclass in balance. While the fish provides the briny, oceanic depth, it is the saffron that elevates the dish to something legendary. This expensive, vibrant spice provides the iconic golden orange hue and a subtle, earthy aroma that cuts through the intensity of the seafood. It is a delicate dance of flavors that requires patience and precision. In the traditional restaurants of Marseille, eating bouillabaisse is a two-act performance. You are never served the fish floating in the broth like a standard stew. Instead, the waiter brings out the golden, saffron-infused liquid first, accompanied by slices of toasted bread rubbed with garlic. You spread this bread with rouille, a spicy, garlic-heavy mayonnaise that acts as the perfect, creamy counterpoint to the sharp, salty broth. Only after you have savored the soup does the second act arrive, a large, steaming platter of the cooked fish. A skilled server will often deboning the fish right at your table, ensuring that every bite is free of the very spines that once made these fish unsellable. This tradition is so deeply woven into the identity of Marseille that it is protected by law, or at least, by a very serious code of conduct. In 1980, a group of local restaurateurs, concerned that the dish was being diluted by shortcuts and inferior ingredients, created the Charte de la Bouillabaisse. This document is the ultimate authority on what constitutes a real bouillabaisse. It mandates the use of specific, fresh Mediterranean species and forbids the inclusion of shellfish or other ingredients that don't belong in the original recipe. It is a defiant stand against the homogenization of food, a way for the people of Marseille to say that their history is not for sale to the highest bidder. When you sit down to a bowl of authentic bouillabaisse, you are tasting the resilience of a port city that has survived wars, economic shifts, and the passage of time. You are tasting the ingenuity of fishermen who turned the unwanted into the iconic. It is a dish that demands you slow down, appreciate the labor behind the meal, and respect the ingredients that the sea provides. From the humble beginnings on a rocking boat to the refined tables of the French Riviera, bouillabaisse remains a testament to the idea that the most profound flavors often come from the most practical of origins. It is the heart of Marseille, served one golden spoonful at a time.